Hello, hello, hello. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Hello, hello. How are you all doing? It's Saturday. How are we all doing today? Welcome to Bedtime Morning Talk with Dr. Lena. How are we all doing today? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. How are we all doing? Let me just turn up the light here. How are we all doing? Bedtime Money Talk with Dr. Lena. And today we'll be talking about, we'll be having a short series about how to get $0 to $1 million in how many days in 10 years. What's the strategy? If I'm starting from zero to a million, the goal is for me to get to a million in 10 years. How the exact strategy, the exact plan. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for subscribing, and we would start it. We'll start shortly. How are we all doing today? Did we all go for groceries? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible? Where are you? Let me put zero to millionaire in 10 years. Possible? Okay. Done. How are you all doing? Welcome, welcome to the live. How are you all doing? And do have a poll for every one of us. Do you think it's possible? 0 to 1 million in 10 years. Do you think this is possible? Because this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Let me reduce it so it can. And I have a poll here. Hello, hello. How are we all doing? I have a poll here. So put a comment. Do you think it's possible? Welcome to the live church. Yeah, just welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I do have a poll. As you're coming in, let me know. Do you think this is possible? 0 to 1 million in 10 years. Is that possible? Put a yes, put a no. Okay? Put a yes. Thank you so much for the likes. Put a yes, put a no. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. 0 to 1 million in 10 years. Is that possible? It's that possible. That's the question. Hello, Adrian. Welcome to tonight's live. And I have a question. I have a poll here. 0 to 1 millionaire. And when I'm saying millionaire in dollars in 10 years. Is that possible? Let me know your responses. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the live. Fun guy, how are you? Hello, welcome. Okay, yes, I think it's possible. Awesome, awesome. Let's get some other people's responses. I think we have about 29 people in the live. Welcome, welcome. Also, let me know the country where you're joining from, the state, the city. Let me know where you're joining from. Fun guy, yes, we can. Awesome. Great, 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 great. I think I very much have optimistic set of individuals. I like that. I like that. Awesome. Any other person, just all click on the poll. Do you think $0 to a millionaire in 10 years? That's what we are talking about tonight. $0 to a millionaire, because I am starting to become from $0 in 2026, starting all over again. Wait, really, we can? Yes, we can. Well, I don't know the answer right now. I just want to respond in the comment section. Just put it in the poll. are you going to, is it a yes or a no? Do you think it's possible? Makeup the beauty. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining the live, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you all for the likes. So what we want to talk about tonight is I am starting from a zero to a millionaire, 1 million. Okay. When I say millionaire, 1 million, I want to become a millionaire in 10 years, or can I even do it in lesser years? That is what tonight is all about. Fun guide. Oh, we said, okay, great. Make up the beauty. Okay. So that's it. And we're going to talk about how to achieve it, because I believe, I want us to all comment. Is it a yes or a no? Do you think it's possible? Starting from zero to millionaire status in 10 years. Do you think that is possible? Because the reason why I put this out is I want to start from a zero and I want to become a millionaire in 10 years. Jesus Christ is the best. Yes, absolutely, He is. It is. Okay, so great. But we are talking about tonight is about $0 to becoming my earning 1 million. 1 million net worth. Net worth means that my asset minus my liability gives me my net worth. So my net worth is going to be, I become a millionaire in dollars, by the way, in dollars in 10 years. In 10 years or less, not more than that. Okay? Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the live so that some other people can learn. So Dr. Lina is going to be starting from zero all over again, changing her strategy, doing the same thing in 2026, starting from zero. And somebody says a no. Okay, great. I think I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. Saying a no, and you will tell us the reason why you think it's not possible. Okay, and then we will walk the journey to see, is it possible? How is it even possible? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. How is it possible? And if you are interested in knowing that, okay, you want to also walk that path and see that path and achieve that goal, then you are in the right place. We're going to be talking about it tonight, because I'm starting from zero to a millionaire, right? Thank you for sharing the live, and thank you all for subscribing, because it helps others to learn this as well. So what are my my responses if everybody has responded? Okay, so somebody said a no. Is there a reason why you think it's not possible? Okay, because I'm here to tell you that I'm going to be doing exactly that, and I'm going to be achieving the 1 million, right? So the first thing that I want us to know is everything is about mindset. It's all about your mind. It starts with your mind and it ends with your mind. If you think that if you cannot even imagine it, you cannot achieve it. If you cannot, wait, can you show us then, before you talk to us about the millionaire show, can you show us before you talk to us about the millionaire conversation? What does them mean? Show us them. What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. Maybe if you can clarify. Anyways, so let's talk about, what are the strategies? I'm here to tell you that this is very possible, and I think I'm going to end the poll right here. So 8 people. Okay, so I had 8 people vote, and 87% said a yes, and 13% said a no. And it will be very interesting to know, to hear from the people that did say, think that it's impossible, right? It will be nice to know, right? Because first of all, I just want to say that it starts with your mindset. If your mind cannot achieve it, perceive it, it's impossible for you to achieve it, right? So I'm here to tell you that yes, I'm starting from zero in 2026, and I'm doing whatever thing I have done before, and I'm going to achieve 10 million. I'm going to achieve 1 million in 10 years or less. And I want you to wait, because the goal is for me to be able to tell you I'm going to achieve this, because you can also replicate the same thing, right? The goal is for me to show you how I achieve this and how to replicate it, how to have become a millionaire in 10 years or less. That's it, right? So, and let me pull the poll back. Let me put it, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for the subscribe, for those that are subscribing. That's very helpful. And I'll put it one more time. So 0 to 1 million to 1 million, okay? And this time I'll make it 1 million, because I just don't want to let the confusion sit to 1 million. So if you're just joining, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing the live. So we're talking about 0 to 1 million in 10 years. And the question is, okay, is this possible? Is this possible? Okay. And I'm going to put it right here again for those that are just joining. This is what we are talking about. So, and like I said, it first of all starts with your mindset. It's just about, first of all, it's about your mindset. If your mind can perceive it, you'll be able to achieve it. And of course, like I said, I am starting all over again. I'm starting all over again in 2026, and the goal for me is to achieve a millionaire status in 10 years. And this is net worth. So it means that my asset minus liability is at 1 million in 10 years or less. So what am I going to do? It starts with number one. It starts with my income, because except you have an inheritance, except you win a lottery, or you are with an employer, you fail and you got some litigation money, your income is always the first thing. Your income is always the first thing. And in this situation, what am I going to do differently? Because I want to move faster. Remember, a lot of time people, so can we see them? I'm not sure who are the people that you're saying or what you're trying to say. Okay, phone guy, right? So I'm basically, if you have a skill set, you need to build a skill set that is going to help you increase your income. Have an income. That's the first thing. So I'm going to be aiming towards $100,000 or more income. That's number one thing I'm going to be doing. That is number one thing I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be starting. No, I mean, can we see? I'm not sure what you mean. And maybe you can just pause it. I don't know what you're talking about, right? So I'm basically talking about, you know, okay, I think I'm going to have to put, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I did put you on timeout because I'm not sure what you're saying. So what am I basically at what Alex would, we're not talking about dating here, right? We're not talking about dating. We are talking about how to get from $0 to $1 million. That's what we're talking about. And if you're not interested in that, you probably want to, this is not the right life for you. Because here we're talking about how to leave generational wealth, how to have good wealth for ourselves, how to do well for ourselves as a lady or as a man. That's what we're talking about. And if that is not that's not what you're here to talk about, then you are not in the right life, okay? We are not in the right life. All right. So we're talking about serious business here. We're not here to play. Okay. So some people, and I'm going to go back to the poll where people had voted and said 87% of the people voted that it's very possible that you get a zero, you can move from a $0 to $1 million, right? $1 million in 10 years, right? Which is pretty impressive, because it shows that people have the good mindset. Okay, people do have a good mindset. All right, they have the mindset that, okay, you can win. You have a winning mindset, and all that you're waiting for is how. And the high is what I'm going to be talking about. So you have, and thank you so much for sharing the live. Thank you for subscribing. So first of all, the first thing that you want to start is with your income. How can you get a good income? There are two ways that you can get a good income. One is that you are improving your skill. Your employer is paying for skills, nothing else. They're not paying for that degree. They're not paying for the certificate. That's not what they're paying for. They are paying for skill sets that you have, right? And if you have a good skill set, you will definitely you get return on it. So the first thing you want to do is to have a good income, right? Get your skill set, build a skill set that is going to pay you that amount that you're looking for. If I'm starting from zero right now, I would focus on my technology skills, focus on maybe something AI, cybersecurity, or if I'm in the health sector, I'm going to, they're always looking for nurses. I'm going to take a very short program that's going to help me to get into that field. If I'm in, if I'm into content creation, if I'm into any of those things, I would also look into what is going to pay me 100,000 or more. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at substituting or adding to my income. So having multiple streams of income, because it's one way. One way is for me to one way is I'm not I don't know what this Alex, and we're not here to let me we're not here to do remove. Okay, so your income is the first thing that you're starting from. Thank you so much for sharing the live. Then the second thing is for smart investing, right? Smart investing is the second thing that you want to do. Investing in the stock market, but you are investing smartly. Investing smartly. Remember, you have your income. Now you ensure that your expenses are pretty minimal. Your expenses are pretty minimal. That's what I started from 0 to 100 in 2026. That's what I'm going to be doing. 0 to $1 million. That's what I'm going to be doing. I will have my income that is high, either through multiple stream of income or getting an additional skills, so that I can win with money. Okay, and then I'm going to keep my expenses pretty low. When I have my expenses pretty low, what that's going to do is I have my income high, I have my expenses low. That means that the difference between the two is what is going to help me, because I'm going to be able to save. And once I save, what am I using this money for? My savings, what am I using it for? I am not spending it on myself. I am not wasting it. I'm basically putting it into smart investing. What are smart investing? Smart investing are basically ETFs like VOO, QQQ, SCHD. All of those things are the things that I talk about smart investing. They are baskets of funds that would help me to win with money. Okay? They help me win with money. And that's the second thing I'm going to do. The third thing I'm going to do. Remember, the first thing is your income. The second thing is your expense. Then the third thing is what? The third thing is the smart investing. Making sure that I invest in ETFs. So I'm going to max out my 401k with my employer. Okay? I max out my 401k with my employer, such that my employer, if they're matching it to 3%, matching it to 1%, I am matching it to that same amount. So I have my 401k. The other thing is that I'm going to also be another thing that I'm going to be doing, my employer is one. Then my 401k is one. Then Roth IRA, I'm going to be maxing out my Roth IRA. I'll be maxing out my Roth IRA. Why am I maxing it out? I'm maxing out my Roth IRA. And thank you so much for sharing the live. Thank you for sharing the live, and thank you for subscribing to the channel, because obviously it helps. Okay, obviously it helps. Okay, and then let's play some music. Best part of a okay, so try this. Let me add a question. So where okay, and I did put a so start the Q&A. So put in the comment section where you're joining from, and thank you for sharing the live. Thanks for subscribing. So the other part of the things that I talk about, right? The other part of the what I'm going to talk about is the smart investing. Now, this is what is going to help you win with money. This is what's going to help you, right? This is what is going to help you win with money, okay? Because you're going to be basically investing your money. And I invest in two places because I am starting from the zero in 2026. So I want to make sure that I am, and my goal is becoming a millionaire in 10 years. So I'm not going to be doing things like every other person are doing. Some people have 40 years in the workforce. I have 10 years to achieve what they want to achieve in 40 years. Okay, so when you understand that I need to do things differently, I do things differently, and I'm going to show the board. Let's go to the board. All right, let's go to the board. All right, can we see the board? Okay, and I will go there. I think let's put classes in session. So okay, so I'm going to be starting with my okay. So what am I so the other thing that I'm going to be doing is in terms of the smart investing, right? I would make sure that I put my money in zero risk investing. Put my money in IO savings, 3 to 5% return. I'm going to be putting money in my 401k, my traditional 401k, 0.01% return. I'll be putting money in ETFs. Okay, simple ETF is another place that I'll be putting my money. Simple ETF is another place that I would be putting my money right here. Okay, I'm going to be putting my money in simple ETFs, in VOO, QQQ, IVV, SCSD, because these are going to return between 8% to 18%. So because I'm doing something differently, zero to become a millionaire within 10 years. Some people have 40 years, but I don't have all of that time. So I'm going to be putting my emergency fund in an IO savings account like a Capital One that gives 3.3% right now, or a SoFi that gives like 4%. So I put my 1 month emergency fund there because I need to stay protected. The other thing I'll be doing is the traditional 401k. I'm going to max it out to the level that my employer is going to be doing. Whatever they're doing is what I'm going to max out. For the ETFs, I'll make sure that I am putting it in VO, QQQ, SCHD, IVD, SCH. And basically, why do I put it in this? I put it in this because it returns 8 to 18%. And of course, it has returned that averagely for the past 10, 20, 30 years, right? That's what it has returned. And that's exactly what I'll be doing. Okay? That's exactly what I'll be doing. Remember, the first step for me is my high income. That's where I'll start for my high income. Two ways I'm getting that is my professional skills, improving my skill, not an additional degree. Then, or I would have multiple streams of income. Look for ways to do that. And then lastly, then the other part of the thing that I would do in terms of growing my funds would be real estate, investing in real estate, because real estate is one that's going to fuel the journey for me, make the journey quicker. That's what is going to do it for me. Real estate is the key. And why do I want to invest in real estate? I invest in real estate because it's the only asset class that will pay me in 4 different ways: appreciation, cash flow, equity, and tax benefit. Okay? Appreciation, cash flow, and equity and benefits, tax benefits, because every 10 years, my property is going to double its value. Also, my mortgage, I get cash flow for my employer. Oh, sorry. I get cash flow for my tenant. So the mortgage minus rent will give me the cash flow. Then the next thing is my equity. For every single month that the tenant pays the rent and I pay the mortgage, my mortgage goes down. So I am building interest in that particular property. And then the last thing is tax benefit. The fact that I own real estate alone, I get money from the government. How does that happen? Every deduction, taxes, and all of that, I can claim it against my W-2 within the tax code, okay? I can claim it within my W-2. And that's the reason why real estate is one of the top places that I'm going to be investing. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the likes, okay? And then the last thing that I will be focusing on is my financial fortress. And what is financial fortress? You might be wondering, what does that even mean? Financial fortress. It means financial discipline, right? Me being able to avoid lifestyle creep, buying only the things that I need, not my wants, the things that I need. Unnecessary spending, I'm going to be ending that. Credit card, I'm making sure that I'm paying my credit card within the billing cycle. That I am doing. I am ensuring that I am diversifying and I'm delaying the gratification. Okay? So those are things, lifestyle that I'm going to be living to be able to meet up within 10 years, to be from a zero to a millionaire status. And then financial planning, having protection, having my insurance, emergency fund, all of that fall into this category. And then the last thing is financial literacy. Getting education, because if you want to invest in real estate, if you want to smart invest, if you do not handle it properly, okay? If you do not handle it properly, you will end up, if you do not handle it properly, and now I'm shifting, if you do not handle it properly, what will happen is that you realize that you realize that if you don't get enough education about all these things, you might lose your money. You might even lose your principal. You lose your money, and you don't want that to happen. So, and remember, we're just doing this in 10 years. I am doing it in 10 years. So the question is it possible to run your to have your investment from 0 to a millionaire in 10 years? Yes, absolutely. And how do I do this? And I'll say it: income first, get a good paying job, save as much, keep my expenses to the barest minimum. So I'm saving a lot. And then once I do that, I'll be able to save more, which I would use to invest in simple ETFs, which I would invest in real estate, okay, I'll first of all buy the first one using the deposit for my savings. I get the first one. Once I have the first one, then I work again, save again, and buy a duplex. Live in one house arc. It's called house arcing. Live in one section, and the other part I would use it as rental. The some other person pays for my rent. Okay, they pay the rent. Thank you for sharing the live, and thank you for subscribing. So what do? Somebody pays the rent. Okay, once they pay the rent on one side, I live in the house for almost free. Okay, and then somebody else is paying the mortgage. Then I can use my own money, invest it in another property, and so forth and so on. That's the way I'm going to do it. So if you try this strategy, I can tell you that within 10 years, you would be able to, and you're able to get five properties you at $200,000. That's that's 1 million. Okay, and of course, once you get to number 5, your goal is to start paying it off, and then that's how, basically, remember, you're funding your Roth IRA, you're funding your Roth IRA, you're funding your 401k, you're doing all of that. Okay, those are the things that you're doing. All right, and through that, and then you're going to invest in real estate, and through that, you're definitely going to win. Okay, all right. I hope I've been able to convince you to like know that yes, it's indeed possible from zero to move to get $0 to $1 million in 10 years using this strategy that I talked about. I hope this helps. Okay, thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll definitely see you again in I'll see you again tomorrow. I will talk about anything else. You can drop me a message if you have any questions at all regarding your finances. And additionally, you can also look into, I have long form videos. I should have a new video coming out tomorrow. Another video should be a long form video should be coming out tomorrow that is going to help you on another topic, right? On another topic that is going to help you in winning with money in 2026. All right. Well, I hope this helps somebody. Thank you so much, and then I'll see you again tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it at 6 p.m. Central Time, or it might be 7:45 Central Time. You know, note that, ensure that your money is working harder than you do. And I really appreciate your time tonight. And I hope you're able to learn a thing or two as well. Okay, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.